see it any other way. I'm too weak to make the climb. I need a miracle this time. That's when
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna FEAZELL, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC in Christ Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. Thank you again so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, 1 through p.m. So I get right home with you in the afternoon. You know, the station is really growing, and this show is really growing. We have a huge outreach, and it grew even more so, Loretta, about a month ago. So you not only find us on television locally, which is North Alabama, channel 182 on Charter Communications, we're also found on Abundant TV, which is on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. So we definitely appreciate that opportunity as well. So however you're listening to us, we'll take it, okay? I have with me right now a very special friend. Her name is Loretta Rodger, and she is with Cove Crafters, which is also with Shepherd's Cove. And this gorgeous lady is such an asset to the community, and I wanted to mention that first. And so, and I love these craft classes with you. And so we always meet once a month, and now you're recovering from surgery, so we're not going to have one in the month of July, but you're fired up and ready to go for August.
I am, actually. It's going to be a brand new project that we have never done before.
Ah, that sounds interesting.
August 11th. Mark your calendars.
August 11th.
Yes, ma'am.
What time?
Well, we meet in the community room at Shepherd's Cove Hospice on their main facility on Martling Road. And we get started. We eat around 5:30. We're fed by Santa Fe Cattle Company.
And perfect timing.
It was perfect. It really was. And then after that, we start our crafting. Right before crafting, kind of in between the two, I do take a few minutes to take prayer requests and concerns, take care of any business, and then we get started on the craft for that evening. The craft that we're doing in August will go out in September. So,
well, is there anything you could tell us about the one in August?
I can't. I'm so excited. Okay, so it's gonna look kind of maybe bigger than it really is, but
oh, I saw that. Yeah, that's nice.
So every page, it's got two acetate covers, but every page has a verse, and this one is left blank so that our patients, their families or friends, can put a few pictures in there if they wish to do so. It would be very easy, just a little tape and that's it. So it's they're not difficult to make at all. They're a little bit time consuming. There's a few steps along the way, but I'll walk you through every single bit of it. And as usual, I will have a video that will loop the entire time so that if you miss something, because you get to talking, Donna.
I knew you were thinking that.
Or me, I get to talking as well. So that way you don't miss anything, and everybody has a really good time. I know I do. I really enjoy getting these together for both the craft club and our community.
Uh-huh. And I wanted to mention this because if you're a Martha Stewart type and you just, you do crafts all the time, you're going to love doing this. I mean, because you're not going to get bored. And then if you've never crafted ever before in your entire lifetime, you're going to enjoy it as well.
Yes, I promise you will find something to do. Last meeting, which was in June, I'm very proud to say we had 4 men present with us. We had a total of 22 in attendance.
Uh-huh. That's pretty
so
cool.
That was fabulous.
My hubby was one of us. He was in there too. Now the thing about Phil and me working on stuff together is we get really competitive with it. We want to do each other. And people were kind of watching us. I guess they thought, look at those two. Are they competing with each other? Yeah, we always do. We fish, whatever we do, we're in competition with each other.
Well, I don't think your listeners actually know that you are now the vice president of Cove Crafters. So,
you know why? Because nobody else would.
That means you get to be my right hand.
I jumped on it. I mean, I really
yes.
did.
Yeah, I'm really thankful to have someone to act as backup should I need it. And I can't think of a better person than you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you do a tremendous job. And so now every year, you know, you could, if you wanted to, you could not do it. But nobody, I mean, everybody was going, no, Loretta, it's got to be you. It's like I'm sorry, you couldn't walk away from this if you wanted to, Loretta.
Well, I could walk away if I wanted to, but you know,
Right.
the honest truth is that there's enough of a support group that if I'm overwhelmed or I just need, like with July and need a break, I can call some folks who will fill in that gap to help prepare materials, or maybe come pick up the craft to take it back to Shepherd's Cove Hospice. Whatever that need is, I do have enough of a support group in that community that we call Cove Crafters to make sure that those projects are done. They're done with love, and they're prayed over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's amazing that they're prayed over. You know, one thing that I have noticed of every time I go to a class, sometimes church groups get together, maybe a woman's Sunday school class, or you know, just the women of the church, whatever. They do this, and then you know, sometimes it's mother and daughter, or it could be, you know, aunt, niece. It could be just whoever that you just see walking in. It's just a good thing to do, you know, gets you out of the house. And if you're new to the community, you really need to think about this, you know, because see, you're volunteering for an awesome organization.
Absolutely. And when you volunteer for anything and you give back to the community, you really are showing your love, not only for the community, but as a Christian woman, I like to know that that love is going to be spreading the word of Christ throughout the community as well. So,
yeah. Now tell us a little bit about Shepherd's Cove. Now, Loretta, you're talking with people all over the world right now. So we have some folks who listen from California and Texas and just, you know, New York, wherever. So we're represented in all the states. Now, in a particular area, we have Shepherd's Cove, okay, and which is an awesome organization. But I'm sure you have something very similar to this as well. So let's talk with the folks, the listeners right now, and the watchers about Shepherd's Cove. What is it? How are you helping?
well, Shepherd's Cove Hospice is a 501c charity. So that means that whether you have a dime to your name or $1 million, we're going to treat you the same. We're going to make sure that you have the love and care, medications, physicians, nursing, all of that to take care of you. We're going to walk you through that end of life journey. We're going to be there for your family. And not only that, once a patient, unfortunately, you know, we do have people who pass away. There are lots of community support groups, grief support groups that you can attend at no cost to you at all. And so that's very important. We also have an inpatient unit. I think we have 6 or 8 beds available for our patients. And of course, you know, we care for our patients at home. Right now, I think we cover up to 9 counties, which is a lot of folks that we have that we take care of. Shepherd's Cove, as far as Cove Crafters is concerned, we started a little over 4 years ago with the actual thought that having a craft that was done by a group of people versus just random stuff going out would probably be a little bit more feasible. And it is, number one. And number two, I have the best time coming up with projects. And so if you are a member of the community and you need some help, maybe with those ladies groups or things like that, you can get in contact with Donna, who can contact me, and I'll be glad to talk to you about that.
It's just a great thing. And I'm going to tell you something else. I know what she said about Donna talking. It's easy to do because you start meeting friends. I mean, you become attached to folks who come to the Cove Crafters Club.
Absolutely, you do. Not only do you become attached, but you develop friendships that are far beyond just that one night a month that we get together.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you can count on those folks, and they know that they can count on you as well.
Absolutely. You know, one month, I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago, I was there, And for some reason, we almost called it the Donna Club because there was like 3 or 4 of us there by the name of Donna. Remember that?
Yeah, we actually have 5 on the books right now that are named Donna.
I was named after that Donna, Oh Donna song from the 1950s.
Oh,
And so when I was going to school, I remember somebody would yell, like you'd have recess going down the hall or whatever, just, hey, you just walk around the halls at school. And so we walk down the hall and always somebody would say, hey, Donna. Well, several of us would turn around and go, hey. So
well, my birth mother, I'll tell you a quick story. I'll tell the very quick version of it. Until I was 46 years old, I did not know that my name was Loretta Lynn. I was adopted when I was very small, and my parents named me Frances Loretta. And then when I found out about my birth mother, I reclaimed my right to my birth name, Loretta Lynn. Well, what I didn't know at the time was that if I had been born a boy, I would have been Conway Twitty.
I've been meaning to ask you about that. Loretta Lynn is one of my favorite actresses, and I'm gonna say one of my favorite movies was the movie about her life, Coal Miner's Daughter.
I loved that movie. I did.
That is awesome. You can learn so much from that. Did you know Sissy Spacek actually sang those songs? I thought for a long time it was Loretta Lynn singing, and I thought
I did not know.
I thought Sissy Spacek was just lip syncing. But no, that was really her singing. So she said she went and she developed a really good friendship with Loretta Lynn. And she said that they hung out for several weeks with each other. So she just kind of captured her moods and how she was, that kind of thing. And she taught her how to sing those songs.
Oh, wow. That is a gift.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's one of my favorite go-to movies. I let somebody borrow it one time. I had it on a CD, and I let somebody borrow it, and they kept it.
Oh, no.
And I never thought there was somebody living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just let her keep it. I said, no, you can go in there and have it. But I said that to mention this. You can go to the thrift shop and find all kinds of DVDs and things like that of your favorite movies as well. And that's just another way that you can help Shepherd's Cove, the thrift shop.
It is. I love going to the thrift shop. I was yelling at the screen when you were showing that dress the other day.
Uh-huh. Were you?
Yeah, I wanted you to buy it. I'm going to use the fabric and make journals.
Oh, they still have that dress. I saw it.
Do they?
Yeah.
I doubt it'll be there when we get off the interview, but we'll see.
I doubt it too. I was down there. I almost bought that skirt. And I thought, man, I can do something with that. And I didn't do it. I was doing the video, so I just kind of got away from it and forgot about it. You know how you'll do. And so there was a lady, though, who was looking at it. And she said, that's a beautiful skirt. She said, if I could wear that, I'd get it. She said, I bet you could wear that. But I was thinking of something else. I mean, because you're a crafter and you like to repurpose things. That's how you come up with all these really good ideas at Cove Crafters. So what you do at Cove Crafters is pretty seasonal, because there's always something for Christmas and there's always something for Easter and just Valentine's Day. How do you come up with these ideas?
Well, there's a few sources. Some are just, in the past, I've done some craft shows. And so things that sell well at a craft show are usually pretty good makes for Cove Crafters. For one thing, you can make them not real quickly, but in a reasonable amount of time and at a reasonable amount of money as far as what you spend on the supplies. Because with the economy being what it is, supplies have gone up almost 75% more than what I paid for them a year ago.
Yeah, everything's,
and that's kind of a little difficult, but and I also supplement if I've got supplies on hand. I'll just use those first, and kind of keeps the craft room weeded out, so to speak, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, but you're not careful. I mean, I've got a craft room too, and I'm gonna tell you, before you know it, you can't even walk through it.
Don't look at my floor.
But yours is so organized. I've been up into your house before, and this is your craft room.
It is.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really nice.
Oh, thank you. I really do enjoy it. There has been a recent addition. I actually bought 2 tool chests like you use in a man's garage,
Those-
and Mike built me a countertop, put the 2 units together, and it holds dies and stamps and all that kind of stuff, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
We got to
It's
talk about Mike for a few minutes because Mike is one of those unsung heroes. And Mike is, I mean, ever since I've been to every craft class, he has been there and, you know, getting things organized and that kind of thing. So, I mean, he has I mean, it'd be hard to have Cove Crafters without him hanging with us.
It would be absolutely, and his job for the last 4 weeks has been taking care of me. So I get to say a little shout out and say thank you, and I love you, Michael, very much. I am very grateful to be his wife and be able to travel this journey together. He does keep me on track, but he is also what I call my quality assurance person. So if I've made a prototype of a project that I want to do, he is actually the very first one to see it, and he will go, oh, I like this, but this isn't working. This is just kind of, you know, off in left field somewhere, and maybe if you brought this up a little bit, and you know, and it's like, okay. And then I'll come back here to the craft room, and I'll relook at it from his standpoint, and it's like, oh, I can see where if we did it just a little differently, not only is it going to be easier, but visually it's going to be a little bit more pleasing as well. So I do appreciate him more than I could ever put into words.
Well, we got to come see his camera set up. I still don't have a camera yet.
Yes.
And so I got
You do. Filming overhead makes all of the difference in the world. It allows you to be able to see what the person is doing during a tutorial, and with the lights and everything else that he's built, it's the materials can be a little expensive, but the good thing is this is made from a pretty heavy duty pipe, and at Lowe's, you know, he had them cut it to length, and then they did something to where it was threaded, some kind of machine that threads the end so that it all comes back together. It's brilliant.
Well, as soon as you get feeling better, I'm going to come by there and see what that looks like. Now, let's talk about your business because you have a website as well.
I do. It is neglected really badly right now. I haven't done anything lately. I really do hope to get back into some tutorials as far as from home that folks can just watch on YouTube. I really don't do a whole lot from the business standpoint. It is my goal in the next year or so to be able to go out into the community and teach classes a lot like I do at Cove Crafters for a few reasons. Of course, a little extra money is not going to hurt, and being able to spread the love of art, paper crafting, mixed media, whatever. Don't ask me to sew. That would not be a pleasant thing to see, but you know, hey, we can try just about anything else.
Let's talk a little bit about paper crafts and stuff. And I just wanted to say this book you gave me, I'll tell you what I'm using it for. Because you gave it to me, and I said, oh, that's so pretty. I didn't want to write in it. I just, you know, and you said, oh, but you've got to, it's a journal. So I've started this ancestry thing. And so I'm going back, and I know it's hard to believe with my skin tone, but I'm actually Indian. I have some Indian in me. And so it's pretty cool to find out your Indian roots. And so it's my great grandmother on my grandmother's side, on mother's side. And so she's part Indian, and you could kind of tell, you know, it was the high cheekbones and all that kind of stuff, but they're really dark skinned. And I mean, you could just see, it's almost you could see the Indian in my great grandmother and in my grandmother as well. And so that's what I've been using that journal for.
Good. Yeah, I love having a journal. There is not uncommon for me to have 1 or 2 going at the same time. I keep one in my purse so that, you know, if I'm waiting in a doctor's office or something like that, and I want to jot down some ideas or things that I want to do coming up, then I have that handy. I also keep one by my bed. So, if something, sometimes you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep and you have something on your heart, you can just write that down, give it to the Lord, and go right back to sleep.
Well, a lot of folks have seen that, they've come to the house, have seen that journal. And I really think you need to have a class on that.
Ooh, it would be a few hours long if I taught that as a class.
Would it? Because I've talked to a lot of folks and I said, she might do a class on it. I don't know. And the folks I've talked to have said, well, let me know if she does, because I'd like to have a class.
Now, I will let you know this. When I have the opportunity, I make the journals and I sell them. So if you're interested in having a junk journal or just a regular journal, once again, just contact Donna and she will get in touch with me and I can talk to you about what's involved and the cost and things like that. And we can get you set up.
Another good class, and someone asked me about this too, would be like Bible covers, how to make a Bible cover to go on.
Well, it's according to, I do a lot of Bible journaling and people have kind of a mixed reaction to that because I have a Bible that is dedicated to art. So if it's a verse or something that speaks to me, I may do a watercolor on that page. I may do some stamping. I will actually write on the page over the scriptures what it is that it means to me, or some notes that I may have. Maybe it was a sermon that I heard the Sunday before. And so paper makes all the difference in the world. But as far as Bible covers are concerned, your best bet is to find somebody who sews. and make one out of fabric.
Now you could probably make one out of leather too, but now you'd really need to, that would need to be sewed too, instead of using, I would, correct. There's probably no glue on earth that would hold it together.
There's some PVC glue, PVA glue that would probably work, but from my experience, there is a glue that will stick paper to anything on this planet, and it's called YES paste, and it's one of the few products.
Okay.
It's in a little tub. It's about that big, and I just use an old credit card or something, a piece of plastic, and you spread it out just kind of like you would any other paste. But the thing about this is not only does it keep things down, it does not buckle your paper at all. It keeps it flat and smooth and perfect. And so I keep 3 or 4 jars in my arsenal all the time. I'm not going to run out of it.
Where do you get it at?
You can buy it online. You can also get it, you used to buy it at Michael's. I've not seen it there in years though, but it's called YES adhesive. YES paste, excuse me, but it's an absolute fabulous product.
So that's another reason I like hanging out with this girl. I mean, you can find really neat things. So folks can find you on YouTube. How do you find you on YouTube?
Well, the easiest way is just go to YouTube and put in the search bar Loretta Rodger. But if you want to get really specific, you're going to go youtube.com/user/I wanna-stamp. IWANNASTAMP. So I want to stamp.
What can you use stamps for? Because I mean, really, there are all kinds of opportunities out there to use stamps in crafting. What are some of the most common?
Oh my goodness gracious. You can stamp on anything and with anything as long as you can keep it still long enough. You can ask my dogs. You can stamp on anything your heart's desire. You just need to know what kind of ink to use. Let's just say I had some really weird inkling that I wanted to decoupage my cabinets. Well, I could do that, or I wanted to stamp them. You can do that. You just need to know the ink. This is actually a sealed surface, so I would have to use an ink that was either solvent based, which is the same stuff they put like in a magic marker, or oil based, which is a product like Ranger carries an archival ink, and that would be what that is. Now, the biggest difference is a lot of people don't understand that just like with a magic marker, if you get it on your surface, there probably actually is a way to get it off. The easiest way, Easiest way is to put some hand sanitizer on it, let it sit, use a clean paper towel, and just wipe it all away. You may have to do it once or twice, but it normally comes off. Archival ink, on the other hand, is just going to cause a smeary mess. You may be able to get it off somewhat, and then you may have to like sand it and maybe repaint or something like that. But know your ink.
That's great advice.
Not all permanent ink is permanent, and not archival ink is archival. So it's according to what you want to do.
Those are some really good tips.
You can stamp anything though, you really can. You can stamp on your business cards. You can stamp cards, which I make a lot of. You can use scriptures, and there are plenty of companies that have scripture stamps. I'm going to show you a card that happens to be on my desk. I made this for a friend of mine, and this is the photocopy of some scripture, and then
oh yeah, those are nice, really nice. You can probably find some old wood too. I know we've got a barn full of it, old wood, and just probably, would it need to if it had a seal or anything on it, would that prevent it? Or you just have to use the right ink, right?
Correct. Now, if it's sealed and it's not something you're going to be using for anything else, I would give it a little sanding, tack off any of the dust, and then stamp it.
Yeah.
And then once it's dry, you can always seal it with something like even a decoupage medium.
Some of this wood has been in the barn for, I don't know, almost 100 years. I mean, it's just,
wow.
It's been out there long, and it is beautiful, beautiful wood. Hey, Phil, look at that thing you made for me. It's right over there in the, I want to show you something Phil made, and I'm going to do something with it. And this is just from old barn wood right here.
Oh,
and my imagination is just going on. I can't decide what I want to do with it. It's just beautiful. He just put this, actually what he made this for was a door for the chicken coop. And so, just a small door that they could get in and out of, and you can keep them in the chicken coop at night so a predator doesn't come out and hurt them. But I said, no, this is art. This is not going to go in the chicken coop.
See, I can see it having little pegs on it and like hanging paintbrushes or something in the craft room, or using it by the front door to hang your keys. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
I love this. And then the back of it is just as pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can put cork on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That is cool. That's a really cool piece.
I love
Thank you, Phil.
But this is just wood that came off of the barn. And
it's beautiful.
Different parts of it. But I just love this look right here. A friend of mine is a home designer for Ethan Allen. And
I've seen her on your show.
Susie Stover. And so I asked her one time about, because she goes all over the country, she's in high demand. And I said, you go to New York? And she said, yeah. And I said, oh, well, they probably have different styles in New York. And she said, no, they love the farm look. They love this old country, And I said, well, how do you find stuff for them? And she said, well, there's nothing there. I mean, so they pay premium for stuff that we just go find out in the backyard. I mean, I have found old funnels. I've just found all kinds of stuff out there.
Oh my goodness. I bet you have found the old pots and the old, like the tins and things.
I've got stuff in yard ornaments. You know what? We're down to less than 24 seconds. What do you want to tell the folks before we go?
Thank you very much for your support of the community. I look forward to seeing more of you with Shepherd's Cove Hospice and Cove Crafters. And as always, have a great week. Be blessed, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Loretta. It's always good to see you. Can hardly wait for the next one.